You ran out of money, and you're looking for the reason. You're not alone. At the end of every month, because you run out of money, you look for an excuse, and you blame others. And this mistake, every month, repeats every month. You think your salary is too low. You blame the economy. You blame the cost of living. But almost no one asks this question. Who really controls your money? If a person earns more, if their income increases, they believe the problem will be solved. If I get one more raise, I'll relax. If my income increases a little, everything will fall into place. But real life shows this. A large portion of people whose income increases also increase their spending speed, and the result doesn't change. End of the month, zero again. Stress, the same again. Savings, zero again. So the issue is not the amount earned. The issue is design. The issue is the system. In the previous video, we discussed the question, why living paycheck to paycheck never ends. There we clarified this. The problem is not the income level, it is structural fragility. Today we will break down why that fragility forms. Because living paycheck to paycheck is a result. The cause is the lack of conscious design in the monthly flow of money. By the end of this video, you will clearly see this. The answer to the question, why doesn't money last, is not insufficient salary or low income. It is wrong sequencing. And you will understand that money control depends on three fundamental pillars: timing, automation, resistance. If these three are not applied together, even if income increases, nothing in your life changes. People assume my money is insufficient, but money is not insufficient. Money is spent in the wrong order. Let's think about a month. The salary arrives. The first week, relief, delayed expenses. I should reward myself. If I'm not going to buy this, why am I even working? Second week, bills, mandatory expenses. Third week, planning, borrowing from next month, eating into your pocket. Fourth week, stress. This is not random. This is design. This is the design of systemlessness. The fate of money is determined not by its amount, but by timing. Most people's system is this. The salary arrives, bills are paid, spending happens naturally. If anything remains at the end of the month, it is considered for savings. Now, the question, why does this system fail? Because money was not directed at the moment it was strongest. In the first days of the month, money is strong. In the last days of the month, it becomes vulnerable. If money is not divided into categories in the first 48 hours, the rest of the month simply passes, and that entire passing month is not under your control. Why does my money run out in the middle of the month? Because income is not divided into parts the moment it arrives. There is no separation between mandatory and discretionary spending. Since control is not established in the first week, the following weeks turn into compensation. The comfort at the beginning of the month is the signal of the struggle at the end of the month. Most people think this at this point. Okay, I'll be more careful at the beginning of the month. But attention is not sustainable. Humans are not disciplined beings. Humans are habit-oriented. If a money system requires attention, that system will definitely break. A finance management based on attention is a delayed failure.
People leave money management to willpower. This month, I'll be more conscious. This month, I'll use the credit card less. But willpower runs out at some point. There is something called decision fatigue. We make hundreds of small decisions every day. In the evening hours, the brain and willpower get tired, decision quality drops, and financial mistakes are usually made in the evening hours. Where there is no automation system, there is no control. Savings are not what remains at the end of the month. Savings are the money set aside the day the salary arrives. That money must become invisible and disappear. It must be hard to access. It must not be the first thing that comes to mind. How can I save money regularly? Set up an automatic transfer for Payday. Open a savings account at a different bank. Make access harder. First separate, then spend. Saving is not a character trait. It is the result of a system. Today, spending money is easier than ever. One tap to purchase, one click for credit, contactless payment. If there is no resistance, there is no break. Most people try to reduce spending. Very few try to make spending harder. Yet behavioral science is clear. What is easy is always done. What is difficult is postponed. If spending is easy and saving is hard, the result never changes. How can I control spending? Consciously lower your credit card limit. Apply a 24-hour rule to online shopping. Review subscriptions every 3 months. Set a second approval rule for large expenses. Control is built not with willpower, but with resistance. Now, let me tell you the uncomfortable part. Maybe the problem is not the economy. Maybe the problem is not your salary. Maybe the problem is this. Money is not entering your system. You are entering money's system. Relief on payday, reset at the end of the month, and this cycle continues for years. This channel does not sell the dream of making money. It teaches money control. Every video shows another piece of this system. Like and subscribe. What happens if a person continues with the same financial design for 5 years? They may earn more. They may live in a better house. They may drive a better car. But the feeling of financial freedom never truly forms. Because security does not come from amount. It comes from predictability. And predictability comes from a system. If you do not have at least 3 to 6 months of savings, even a small crisis creates major stress and anxiety. Stress lowers decision quality. When decision quality drops, income growth stops being an advantage. Money control is not psychological. It is mathematical. When 15% of your income is systematically set aside and a safety fund is built, financial fragility is minimized. When fragility decreases, risk-taking quality increases. When risk-taking quality increases, income growth becomes real leverage. So the situation is this. First, you must build the structure. Then, aim for growth. Money does not disappear. If you do not determine its direction, someone else will. When the next payday arrives, you have 2 options. Continue with the same systemlessness, or build the system in the first 24 hours. Control is not in the salary. Control is in the flow. And the flow can be designed.